People say that sobriety is boring. I say sobriety is my superpower. Stick around and I'll show you exactly why on A Spiritual Remedy. Welcome to A Spiritual Remedy, beloveds. My name is Sunshine Day, and today we're going to take a look at a superpower that we have when we're sober, and that sobriety is not boring. You know, when I first heard the word powerless and that we were powerless over alcohol or powerless over people, places, and things, I thought, wow, that sounds pretty heavy. But here's the thing, is that we're powerless over all sorts of things. I mean, take an X-lax, which is a laxative, an X-lax, and tell me that you're not powerless over what's going to happen in your bowels next, right? Now, it's a cause and effect kind of thing, and it's real because it's the same thing with alcohol. For some people, once the alcohol is in the system, the body sets off this chain reaction that for some people is uncontrollable, therefore powerless. But here's where it gets interesting, because right away when they say you're powerless over alcohol, that your life has become unmanageable, they introduce you to a power that is greater than yourself. And that's the precious thing. At first, it might feel foreign or even far, far away, but science of mind philosophy teaches that there's no separation between humanity, between life and spirit, infinite intelligence, the creative source, that very same presence that holds the galaxies in place, that is beating your heart right now, that is breathing in through and as you, that causes a flower to bloom. It's within you and it's all around you. And that's the truth that most religions sadly hide from us. Because if you knew how powerful you truly are when you are connected with that presence and that source within, you cannot be kept small. You cannot be afraid or dependent. One of the books that I like reading is A New Pair of Glasses by Chuck C. And in his book, he says that alcohol isn't the problem, it's separation. And believing that we're separate from God, from love, from life itself is what makes us powerless. You see, we are not cut off from spirit, but we sure can believe that and then experience that when we are steeped in this idea of separation. And everything around us wants to tell us that we're separate, whether it's the color of our skin or our eyes or our height or our weight or our national status, whether it's that we're, based on gender or gender orientation or sexual orientation. We are really not separate. We are actually one. And we are connected to this great source and reality that is within us. Chuck C says that there's only one problem and there's only one solution. That problem is the belief in separation. The solution is oneness or unity, which is the same thing that is taught in the philosophy of the science of mind, is the principle of oneness, that all life is one, that there's a power and a presence and an essence that has created everything out of itself in a variety of ways. And there's no man in the sky pulling the strings or puppeteering, but in fact, there is this power and presence that animates me, that animates you right now. And when I tap into that presence, when I tap into that power, when I remember the truth of who I am and that I am one in this power and presence and that I'm not separate from this power and presence, that's when sobriety gets adventurous, beloved. That's when I stopped white knuckling it. And that's when it was no longer boring, but it actually became an adventure in freedom. And that's also when I stopped asking, why can't I drink anymore? And I started asking, what can I create? What can I experience? What can I give with this one wild and precious life that is my life? And that's superpower talking. Why do we want this? Why do you want to tap into this superpower? What difference would it make in your life? What would make sobriety worth tapping into this superpower? So here's my truth. I want to live a life of joy, of ease, of peace, of power, of laughter, without having to depend upon some substance, some pill, some fix, some drink to give it to me. I want to wake up with peace and freedom in my life. I want to be present for the people that I love. I want to use my creativity. I want to walk in nature and swim in the ocean and laugh, like really belly laugh, belly laugh. And I want to make a difference. And that's a life worth my sobriety. And sobriety gives me access to this superpower, the superpower of clarity and of presence and a connection beyond anything I've ever experienced before. Now, this isn't something in the future. This is something that's available right here and right now. So try it on for yourself. And the next time that somebody tells you that sobriety is boring, you don't have to argue or fuss or fight. You can just simply smile and think to yourself, my sobriety is my superpower. My sobriety is my superpower because it's not about what I've lost, losing the privilege to drink. It's about what I've gained. I've gained freedom and presence, and I've gained knowledge of how to tap into this indwelling power and presence that I can use for my good and the good of all life, to allow my life to flow and overflow. And when I live from that truth, wow, there is nothing, absolutely nothing boring about that at all. In fact, it's an adventure of a lifetime. And that's what I'm here for. If there's anything that you've heard today that's intrigued you, piqued your interest, that you want to know a little bit more about, visit our website, vidaslc.org. There you can email me or check out other videos to support you on your journey. And if there's anything that I can do for you personally, right from that website, you can send me a confidential email that I'll respond to. Until the next time, know that you are loved and enjoy your superpower. Ciao.